I hit record, all the noises started happening. Working outside, AC, everything just decided to kick on right when I hit record. But hi, I'm Custis Blue. This is the Custis Blue Yabcast. Welcome back for another episode. Um, I'm sick. I just got back from a short vacation at the beach. I think I was sick, honestly, before I went there. Even though I feel like every time I see my family, I'm sick. But just a lot of people, engagement party. All my cousins are engaged these days now. And so that's what I was, that's kind of what we were celebrating. I'm super, 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 super excited for them. Um, but anyway, the topic of this podcast episode is going to be like, okay, I don't know how to explain it. I'm just going to go into it. Hopefully, I put it in the caption. Um, so, one of my friends had posted something that looked like they were sad on the internet. And so I reached out to them, and lo and behold, they were sad. And they were talking about how, so I just kind of listened and talked to them and probably gave them advice that they didn't want and blah, 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 blah. But anyway, they were crying and talking about, wondering if they were making the right decision with their life and what they're doing and what like was the point of it all. And what I was hearing was, a mixture of things. But mostly what I was hearing was someone was worried about like things feeling too like definite. I don't know if that's the right word, but just feeling like the decisions they were making had to be the decisions for like the rest of their life. For them, their decision on like what they were doing with school, and even if they were going to use that later, if they wanted to go in that route and they felt way too young to have to decide that. And this, is something that I've been struggling with for a while, but even right now I'm struggling with, which I didn't bring up my struggles to them at all, really, because I didn't want to make it about me. But in my mind, I was like giving them advice, and it was helping, giving me, I felt like I was really just giving myself advice too. And basically, what I wanted to say is, as you get older, everything feels more and more definite. You start to, if you haven't already, or for me, I overthink a lot of things because I feel like every decision is such a big decision because I'm like, this is going to like dictate the next few years or the rest of my life or blah, blah, blah. And I need to make a decision and I need to do it now. And it's going to be so definite. And it's going to be so final. But things aren't final. We change, we grow, we can follow any path we want. And that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to get off the path we're on right now either. Yes, we can at any time go any direction we want. But things and decisions aren't as final as they have to be. They're not as definite as they have to be. And what I was explaining to them was, I was explaining that when going to school, and picking a direction and following through with that, it doesn't necessarily mean when you graduate you have to do that. I mean, these days it doesn't seem like lots of degrees, even make sense. I'm not talking about becoming like a lawyer or something like that, but just in general, you can go and you can learn and enjoy school and make a different decision after school if you want to. I mean, when I think of like how things were not definite for me from the time that I graduated high school to got in this cheap ass beanbag chair and made these podcasts, I had gone to school, dropped out, moved to LA, interned for an experiential production company, helped build stages at music festivals, quit that job, traveled the world, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, India, Beirut, Bali, I mean, et cetera, et cetera. Um, Came back, had basically got effed over by some people in LA, came back with my tail in between my legs, started background acting, being a background character, just signed up for like back, whatever, I can't remember what it is. And was getting paid like $60 a day to do background acting. But second background acting job somehow became a stand-in. Next thing you know, I'm a stand-in for Cobra Kai, for Tanner Buchanan. After that, I'm a stand-in for that. After that TikTok starts blowing up and I'm seeing some people dancing and stuff, which I can't do. I pick up a TikTok. Um, and I then blow up on TikTok within the year. After that, I started, I invested my money in something else, got fucked over again, got a girlfriend, fell off, stopped posting, got super insecure, I guess, or whatever. Went back to school, started building myself up again. Went to school for a bachelor's of science in sound recording and music production. Got a 4.0. Graduate in a semester, and now I'm here talking on a podcast, trying to rebuild and build my brand in social media and trying to find a way to express myself in a way that makes me feel safe and happy. And yeah, basically, what I'm trying to say is things aren't definite. They aren't. And you could do so many different things. And honestly, if I were to go back, I probably wouldn't have dropped out of school. Don't tell my mom I said that. I mean, in reality, I lie. I still would have. And actually, everything that's happened has been, a really great lesson and a blessing. I just do think that in reality, there could have been a smarter route. I could go so into detail about the strategy of what I think the best strategy would have been if I were to go back to get success in the way that I want to with like my dreams and stuff. There was a better strategy. I did not take the best one, um, the best path, but I did take, I guess, the path for me, and it's the best path for me, and has, taught me many lessons. But basically, all I'm trying to say is it's not definite. Nothing you do is final and definite. Your life isn't even final. And I think following through with things that you decided you wanted to do is a good thing. I think it's a good thing. And I think that it doesn't have to be as final as it feels. Learning is a great thing. Learning to learn is a great thing. I do think that if you are going to pick a path and go down it, that while you're on that path, you do your best. You do your best to walk that path proud and be strong and be generous. So if you're going to go and be in school, make good grades. Um, or also have a fun social life. At least, like, just what I'm saying is take advantage of where you are. But for me, going to school, I want to make good grades. But that would have been if I'd went straight away. I'm not trying to shame anyone who doesn't make good grades. I'm just saying, like, take advantage of where you are, and whatever you're doing, do it fully. And you're bound to learn some things that you can put in your toolkit that you can use in the rest of your life. I Even if all of this fails, for me, I've learned so much from it, and I'm sure that I can take these skills, put it on my resume, along with my other, and I've become a soccer coach and a director, for like the director of certain locations and stuff. But that's beyond the point. What I'm saying is, so many things have happened, and um, I'm not trying to say that if you haven't had all these things happen to you, then you're not like I don't want you to feel like, oh, I'm missing out on life because I've had all these things happen. Trust me, you wouldn't want 95% of the things that have happened to me to happen to you. All I'm saying is if you put yourself out there and when you get into the real world, there's so many different options and so many different things and nothing is definite. You can do anything. I mean, what? There's this guy, right? He left everything and now he's sailing the world with his cat. Well, I'll tell you what. He saved a little bit of money from his job, and now he's sailing with his cat. So I'm not saying it's the worst thing to get your degree and get your job, because at any point you can stop and you can sail with your cat, or you could do it now. But please be able to afford cat food, and somehow make sure your cat doesn't jump off the sailboat. That shit is weird to me. I haven't watched any of it, but I've heard about it. Anyway, what was the advice I gave? I just said nothing's finite. I mostly just tried to listen and then say that nothing's definite, and that you're a bright person and are a bright, light. And sometimes, and so I believe that you'll continue down this path and you'll find all these different routes, and it won't be as definite as it is. Another topic that came up in that conversation was feeling like it's hard to be sad and show this part of you, because other people see you as super happy and like an uplifting thing, and you want to manage people's perceptions, and you want them to continue to see you in that light, in a positive light. And so it can be hard to be vulnerable and open up, because you also want to see you in that light. You also want to see you as that. And so to admit to yourself that you're sad and you're down almost feels like you're killing that other character. But the truth is, they're both you. Both of those, you're a multi-dimensional human, and both of those things are you. All of them are you. And so just because you're sad doesn't mean you're not a happy person, and just because you're a happy person doesn't mean you don't get sad sometimes. And it's really important to find people that you can express it to, and express your honest self at all times, so you don't have to feel like you're hiding. Because feeling like you're hiding and feeling unseen is probably one of the worst feelings in the world. I think part of the reason that I have become an entertainer and a creator and a musician and sound engineer and all these things all wrapped around entertainment is because I want to be heard fully. Like, yes, I like to be the center of attention, but I also feel like the more vulnerable I am with the world, the more I can accept myself. And I know that's probably an effed up way to look at things, but I almost have trouble fully embracing myself without fully being seen. I want to be seen and fully seen and loved, but I can't control that everyone loves me. So I hope one day I can find a partner that sees me and loves me, and I can be exactly as I am at all times. I don't have to manage their perception. Being with someone where you have to manage their perception of you is draining, and it's hard, and it hurts. It hurts. And that's why I think social media hurts so many people, is because no one's seen, because everyone's trying to manage the perception and manage everyone's perception of you at all times. And then what happens, because we're so secluded, is we're so secluded from everyone. So then our whole life becomes what's portrayed on the media. And so then we're always trying to project a certain self on the media, which might be a true part of us. And when we do that, but we also are secluded from people in the real world, or people that we can be ourselves with, we become less and less seen. And that can be pretty depressing. For me, I'm trying to figure out how to have a positive, mental health thing with social media, and I feel like I'm struggling a little bit. I'm really back and forth, to be honest. But anyway, guys, I'm going to end it here. I'm sick. I'm sick, and it's just like I can't. I'm running out of energy, and I can't really talk much more. But I'm happy to be here. I'm appreciative of the people that are here listening and watching. If y'all have any advice or any feedback, you're welcome to put it in the comments. Put an eyeball heart you in the emojis in the comments if you made it this far. Um, I love you. I appreciate you. Um, and Custis Blue out.